Honorable Dr. S. Jaishankar, Madam Kyoko, Director Professor Alok Kumar Rai, Dean Academic Professor Bhaskar Chakrabarti, Dean External Relations Sumanta Basu, I Am Calcutta family, friends of I Am Calcutta, members of the press, and all those joining online. Namaskar to all of you. Let me start by quoting from an interview done in Bratislava in May of 2023. It goes somewhat like this. You know, somewhere Europe has to grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems Guys, you got to hold it for the man, not, I'm just quoting. So, Europe's problems are the world's problems, but the world's problems are not Europe's problems. If it is you, India, it is yours. If it is me, European countries, it is ours. You know, I had written a line, does anyone recall these words? But it's redundant. All of you know it. Thank you so much for remembering these extremely important lines which made all of us proud. And I'm extremely proud of each one of you that you remembered it. Thank you so much. On a personal level, Dr. Jaishankar and I have known each other since 1996. He was then the Deputy Chief of Mission in the Indian Embassy at Tokyo. I was then a young 33-year-old who was the country head and managing director of the Indian joint venture of Fanuc Limited. His father, Shrikrishna Swami Subramaniam, who was an IAS officer, was the second director of the Institute for Defense Studies and Analysis. My father, Professor Gajanan Kulkarni, who was also an IAS officer, and after 20 years of serving in the IAS, he was among the first founding faculty members at IIM Ahmedabad. Our fathers were friends. But today it's my privilege to introduce you, Honorable External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar. For close to 300 years, the Anglo-Saxon nations have been dominant voices in global geopolitics. They drafted the rules, they called the shots, and by and large expected the rest of the world to follow their script. Since 2014, another nation has been undergoing a transformation, quietly, patiently, yet strategically profound. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's India has not been asleep. It has been waiting, and it has been learning. India learned to stop playing the game. We stopped pursuing external validation, the desperate chase for approvals from the international institutions. We stopped being a junior partner. India decided to write its own rules and let the results speak for themselves. This unleashed the confidence of 1.4 billion people. Now there is no going back. From 2019, we also see a rise of our nation's diplomacy, one that refuses to bend. Sometimes, all it takes to shift the global mindset is one voice, firm in conviction, clear in values, and unshakable in truth. That is Dr. S. Jaishankar. He's a man of few words, but immense weight. He ensures that India is heard. He has recalibrated our diplomacy. His India never rejects partnerships, it rejects pressure. He challenges the age-old assumption that India can be managed, it can be bullied, it can be softened. It is his quiet resistance that speaks loudest. He is the symbol of a new India that does not fear losing favor. an India that values dignity over deals. This matters more than anyone realizes. He is a leader who's not loud. He does not fight but still wins. He does not raise his voice but raises India's standing. He represents us, you and me, not by flattering others, but by standing for us. You know, all of you, mindsets do matter, not just for politicians and diplomats, but for each one of us. Sooner or later, in your lives too, you will walk into rooms where people will expect you to say yes or to stay silent. And in those moments, your power will not be in how loudly you speak, but it will be in how deeply you stand. And this is what Dr. S. Jaishankar teaches us. And through him, this is what India is teaching every other rising nation. People like him become a beacon for every young professional, every underestimated individual. You do not have to fight to be strong. You just have to know who you are. So the next time you feel pressure to compromise just because you wish to be accepted, remember this. One man, one voice, one stand changed everything, because that's how mindsets shift. Meet the man who stands his ground, Dr. S. Jaishankar, India's Honorable External Affairs Minister. Sharp, strategic, relentless. He is not just a diplomat. When other nations seek concessions, Dr. Jaishankar holds the line and seeks fairness and respect. For him, strategic autonomy is not a buzzword. It is a line in the sand. This is what I call unapologetic diplomacy. Dr. Jaishankar's clarity demonstrates that real power is in dialogue. It flows from within, from a unity of purpose, a depth of culture, and an unwavering belief in our nation's destiny. Because of his strategic wisdom, India can no longer be manipulated and underestimated. And that patience can outlast pressure. And that faith in one's own civilization can build what force cannot. Through him, India speaks its truth, calmly and firmly on every global stage. He is building our strategic sovereignty. This is the mark of a nation that acts on its own will. His style is a lesson in how to achieve deep strategic reorientation and geopolitical correction, not through warfare or hostile politics, but through sheer willpower. He proves to us that it is always about people. People matter. That's his style. He is, I believe, the perfect man to represent our billion heartbeats on the global stage. Dear students, he is very much like all of you that I see sitting here, erudite and the best of this country. We admire you, and we also admire him tremendously. And from today, after the ceremony, he will be a proud alum of IIM Calcutta, the best IIM Calcutta. The best IIM in India. Let me share a small personal anecdote over dinner yesterday. He asked me, Krishna, who are your most famous alums? And I actually bit my lip and kept shut. He's one of them. Okay, so it is his voice that is making the world take notice. He brought the world to our doorsteps. Thank you, dear Jaishankar, for coming to Joka and being a part of the family of IIM Calcutta. Ladies and gentlemen, will you do me a favor? Dr. S. Jaishankar, let's give him a standing ovation. Thank you. Thank you. Jai Hind.